Tuesdays, we highlight one of the great organizations in the world of Western sports, and that is the National Cutting Horse Association. And it's Tuesday, and it's time for The Cut here on Western Sports Roundup as we talk about the NCHA and what the National Cutting Horse Association is up to. August, in the heat of Texas, there's going to be a big event that will happen here in Fort Worth, Texas. I am joined by Jay Winborn, the Executive Director of the NCHA, and 29-year Green Beret Sergeant Major Ignacio Garza. Jay, I want to start with you. You've got something that I think is going to be absolutely awesome. The second straight year, the Military Cutting Challenge that will happen here in Fort Worth. Tell me about it.
So, Steve, this is a program we started last year, specifically pointed towards the special operations community and veterans from that community. And it is an intensive 3-day competition where we bring the guys in. A lot of them have never, ever sat on a horse in their life, and they go from zero to hero over the course of 3 days. And essentially, it's an intensive training program where we work on getting them on a horse, working cattle. We actually take a break, usually on day 2, go out and do a little fun shooting exercise with some of our trainers and sponsors, and then come back and they compete on day 3.
The shooting exercise must be something that a lot of them are more familiar with maybe than the horses. Sergeant Major Garza, number one, 29 years in the Green Beret. Thank you for your service, sir. And you kind of, my understanding from Jay is you've kind of been the liaison that has helped to make this all happen. There's a quote from you in the press release that I'm looking at. Cutting, or as the U.S. Special Forces call it, equine therapy, is quickly becoming a sought-after competition in the military community. From the standpoint of the military community, what does this mean?
So it means a lot. And, you know, me kind of taking point there, I kind of stumbled into it. You know, when Jay and the team reached out to me, I volunteered and said, yeah, I'd absolutely love to do this, and I'm addicted to the sport, and I'm addicted to the community, and so, you know, me kind of being the liaison and the point on this just seemed to make sense.
I want to stick with you for a minute. You were snickering a little bit when Jay made the comment about from zero to hero in 3 days. I'm sure there are some guys that have a little bit of an equestrian background, but there are several who have none that'll be involved in this?
Yeah, I was one of them.
Really?
So when they brought me in day 1, I was like, you know, literally my first rodeo. Like, I've never been on a horse, and they threw me on there and threw us into the fire, and that's what speaks to us as special operations, is that's what we love. That's what we love about it. Go ahead.
Jay, we're watching some video. That's you talking a little bit about this. That's obviously Sergeant Major Garza. How does this work? You pair one of these special operations warriors up with an established cutting horse trainer, right?
That's right. They come in, they're matched up with a trainer who then sets them on a horse, assesses their ability, and then we kind of know how to work through that. And what makes this program unique from a lot of the veterans programs out there, this is not throw them on a horse and go on a trail ride.
Right.
This is competition based, and this is what is so unique and why it appeals so much to the special operations community, is because you throw down that challenge that you have to be ready to go into the show pen on day 3, and it works. And I've seen it, not just with Ignacio, but several of the other guys have jumped in with both feet on this, and they are now going out and riding with trainers and getting involved and participating more and more.
I'm going to say something to you, Sergeant Major Garza, that Jay's heard me say. I've been riding horses for a lot of years. I'm not sure I could sit on a cutting horse. As agile as they are, as quick as they move. You've been through this, where you were the guy who'd never been on a horse, and 3 days later, you're in a cutting competition. What's that like?
It's like combat. And, you know, I took a Green Beret riding the other day, introducing him to cutting, and we were talking on the way home, and he's like, it was exhilarating, it was terrifying. Yeah. At any moment, you could be gone. You could be over the edge and gone off that horse. And I was like, it kind of reminds us of combat. You're there, it's exhilarating, you're doing your job, but that risk is always right there.
Jay, there is an opportunity through the NCHA for people to make donations, to contribute to the Special Forces Foundation. Before I let you guys go, talk about that.
So the Special Forces Foundation, actually Ignacio is the chair of, it is a group that we have partnered with, and we actually, through the military cutting, we point our donations to several different charities that benefit these operators and benefit the charities they represent. We've had Army Rangers, Navy SEALs, Green Berets, It's a very diverse group, but one thing that is consistent, it is all special operations.
I need to wrap this up, Sergeant Major, but real quick, since you're the director of that Special Forces Foundation, elaborate a little bit. Just give me a real short answer about what this all means to you guys.
I mean, it's an outlet for guys to get better. You're changing lives of people who have sacrificed so much for freedom, and you're bringing us and allowing us to come into a community of patriots where we feel at home, and that's hard for guys to find sometimes coming off the battlefield.
This sounds like a great idea. It sounds like a great program. It will take place on August the 3rd at the Will Rogers Memorial Center in Fort Worth, Texas. There are the details. The NCHA pairs military members with top NCHA riders. All the details at nchacutting.com. I'm sure we'll talk about it again between now and the time that it happens. Jay Winborn, Ignacio Garza, gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us, and thank you for joining us today on Western Sports Roundup.